So today we are going to be unboxing and assembling the uh, Pocket Operator Modular 400. This here, it's a little bit awkward shape, so I have it up like this. It comes in this lovely box. Look at that, isn't that nice? So I bought this last week and directly from Teenage Engineering because it's very reasonably priced at the moment, although I thought it was especially reasonably priced, and then I found out I needed to pay import duty in the UK because we're no longer in the European Union, I suppose, something like this. Anyway, this is it here. This really cool packaging that it's got, which I absolutely love. It looks like the Pocket Operator packaging. So let's crack this open and see what's going on. Okay. Can I record at the same time? Maybe I should record at the same time. What's it using in my CPU? It's using like nothing on my CPU. Will you start recording? Will that work too? Let's see. Okay, right, I've started recording. Hopefully it won't crash my, this current bitrate is higher than recommended bitrate. Recommend to use stream bitrate of something or other. Well, everything seems all right just now. Well, I don't know what that means. So we can fix that later. Okay, right, let's get started. What do we do? How does this even open up? It has this lovely tab that you can pull. Oh, very satisfying. Now I'll put this over here. And what do we have inside? Kind of like a milk carton. Really is beautiful packaging. Feels a shame to open it up, although I'll keep it. I'm bad for keeping packaging, as my wife will attest to. Not stuff. Not particularly keen on keeping stuff, but keeping packaging. Okay, what's in here? So it says, let's build. I don't know if you can see that there. It says, let's build. Let's open this up. And inside it has, all sorts of things. Let's see if I can give you a glimpse. Okay, so what looks like a big booklet. And then these are the panels I'd imagine, and these are probably the modules. Now I bought this because, well, for a few reasons. Okay, first of all here, let's just go, there's some little bits and pieces here. Some feet. Some cables here. I think I have a few more of these. Are they stereo, these cables? That's odd. Look at that. I wonder why the patch cables are stereo. Okay, well, let's investigate that later. Let's take out the modules next because, okay, what do we have? We have the sine oscillator here. Ooh, I just love the packaging. It's gorgeous. It really is. The design is very nice. And actually, this is very reasonably priced. I bought this for £350. That was after the import duty, so it's much cheaper than it was originally. I actually think, given the number of modules that you get for it, if you think about a comparable Eurorack system, it would be, I think it'd be much more than that. Well, when I went and priced it up, so here's the three oscillators, a square, a sawtooth, and a sine. It's odd that there's a sine wave oscillator. I suppose good for bases maybe. An envelope here. Right, and we'll take these ones out. Another envelope, so two envelopes, and then a filter. And so let's try and organize them a little bit up here so you can see what I'm taking out. So here are the oscillators. Right, and then we've got envelope and envelope. And we have a filter. Got some other wee bits and pieces. Right, let's have a look, see what else is in here. Suggestion. It's still saying that the current bitrate is higher than recommended. Now, what's it saying? Let me see if I can change it. Can I change this whilst it's live? Is this going to break everything? Current video bitrate. And it's saying that it should be 4,000 4,500. I don't hope this isn't going to ruin the quality of the stream. I don't know. I can't tell just now. Anyway, I'm recording it, and chances are nobody's going to watch live, so you can see it once it's up on the main channel if the quality is awful. So what else have we got here? The mixer. That's cool. A little mixer. 2 VCAs. Let's put them over here. Hopefully you can see everything all right. A bit slightly funny angle. It seems a bit kind of washed out, but I'm not much of a videographer. LFO here, so another source of modulation there. Let's put that there. Rand and noise, very cool. Oh man, and the wee box is just nice. I'm not one for, what do you call it, gear acquisition syndrome. I don't really sort of covet gear in the way that I know that some people do. Right, there's a big tube here. This was the let's build, so that was just to hold it. Let's put that back. And what's left in here now? So there is a hefty book. Is this for all three? Again, just the design is nice. Very reminiscent of Lego. My son absolutely loves Lego. I really enjoy building with him as well, to be honest. He's going to be old enough that he'll be able to do it all himself soon, and that'll make me slightly sad. Maybe we can just increase the difficulty and get him some Lego Technic or something like this. Okay, we've got another thing here. What's this? Is that the power distribution there? Let's put that down and get rid of this. And then, yep, so everything is excellent health status. And PSU, the wee PSU here, let's put that here because all those others are the same size. Now, what's this? Oh, the little speaker. Forgot about that. Quite convenient it's there. I also have some other wee speakers which might be slightly better. And then the sequencer. That's very small for the sequencer actually, isn't it? I'm surprised because as far as I remember on the device, it's relatively larger than, maybe not. Now, the last thing is the actual chassis itself. I just, I know teenage engineering can be very expensive, although I think that they've got some stuff that's really good value. Obviously, I think the pocket operators generally are very good value. I think that the OPZ is good value. I think as well, realistically, with what you can do with the OP1, I think that it's not terrible value. Like there are comparable synths that are much more expensive, but it's. I think the problem with them is that they're so appealing. Kind of you hope that they would be cheaper than they would be. Right. Okay. Color peep door. Let's just double check. Now this is going to be yellow, I'd imagine. Well, I can't open this little peep door. Okay. I need something to wangle jangle it. I've got my little toolkit here. Got this. There's a bargain. Got this off at Amazon. I can't remember how much it was. It was nothing. Very reasonably priced. And I use it all the time for fixing various different things which, when they go wrong. Or sometimes not fixing them and just attempting to fix them. Yeah, there we go. Lovely in yellow. I had to say that was one of the major appealing things for me about this synth was the fact that it's got this beautiful yellow coloured chassis. So let's put that to one side just now. I'll put this down here, and then let's take a wee look at the manual, and we'll follow the instructions. And I'll clear the deck a little bit in a second, and we can start. Now, I think everything okay with the stream? Yes, I think so. Good. Right. Okay, so we need to go forward. So that's the 16, which is the sort of sequencer, which actually looks pretty cool. It looks quite powerful, more powerful than you might think. The 170, and I've seen, it would be great as a wee bass synthesizer or something like this, I think. Although it's not as interesting to me as the 400. Because I've got an OPZ, which I'll be using with this. So this sort of sequencer part of it isn't that important. Now, let's build For in-depth instructions, visit teenageengineering.engineering/guides. And of course, if there is anybody watching or somebody joins me, then have a look at this guide and tell me all the things that I'm doing wrong, preferably before I do it, if you don't mind. Now, I can't currently see, where's the wee Allen key thing? Can't see it there. Is it still in the box? This one. Whereabouts is that? Now, I don't think it's a big deal because I've got wee Allen keys here, but at the same time, I would still quite like it. Let's just double check. Okay, in the box. Nope, definitely not in the box. Any other bits of cardboard that might be hiding in? No, not as far as I can see. I also bought this, which off of the Teenage Engineering website, which is the power supply for it. I imagine you could probably get one significantly cheaper, but I wanted to make sure it was the right one, and it wasn't too bad. Okay, there's all the parts. Now to start with, let's build. It starts with the chassis. Okay, now I'm going to clear the deck. I'll put this up here. I'll get the bits out and then we can start following the instructions. Put the patch cables to this side. That's intrigued me that they're stereo, the patch cables. I wonder why. In the other, I'm not a big modular person. I've got a Behringer Neutron, which I love. I really, really enjoy. The sound of it it's just excellent, and there's a lot of options for patching it. But that's it really. That's the only thing I've messed around with. And this, so this is the first. You know, I did consider getting a Eurorack system and maybe something quite small and compact, maybe more of an effects unit, but I just don't know when I would use it. So this. Use it with the OPZ, use it to get some different types of sounds, maybe sample it to get drum type sounds, I thought would be one thing I could do with it. Use it to kind of, get a bit of a beefier synth as well, a bass synth or something like this, which again, I don't think that the OPZ is lacking for this, but I think that it could fill a gap in the functionality. Okay, let's move all these little modules away somewhere. I really hope this is recording properly, because it would make me slightly sad. I'm going to put this over here. Right, go in here. Oh, geez, what was that? My seat just cracked. It's not so good. I hope it's not broken. I like this seat. Right, okay, let's move these over. And really run out of space here. Right, put it there, good. And power distribution things. Right, let's get the chassis assembled. Now, let's get the instructions open over here. I'm doing this a day earlier than I thought I would, simply because actually I expected, let me see if I can change this. Oh yeah, make it a little bit, is that better? I don't know if it is better. No, I don't think so. Let's just turn down the brightness a wee bit maybe. Can you see that page a bit better now? Don't know if that'll make it worse for it detecting. Let's try, I don't know. Hopefully you can see that all right. Okay, so this is what we're doing up here. Bending some metal. Let's get the panels out first. Aha, look, and it says it's got description about how you bend everything here. Hopefully, are they just exactly the same? Yes, well there's that cutout there. So it's this one, yeah. Have a look for that. So it's got to be facing out that way. Man, these things are very satisfying. Sorry. Okay. Feels slightly. Ah, is this the wee? Yes, there's the wee tool there, along with some little screws. Now, I don't know if I'll use this. Should I use it? I've got a little screwdriver with Allen keys on it. Right, nothing else in there, I don't think. Nice that it's all cardboard. This is this. I know. On the picture, it kind of looked bigger. This part of it looked bigger. I wonder if the rest of it will be kind of like that. No, I don't want it to be too big though, because then it's not certainly useful. Right, so let's see. This is it here. I don't know if you can see that there, that these stick out to the side a little bit. Now, what it's saying is to make sure that this is upright. And we're making this here, this, can you see that? This sort of bottom plate. Now, I think the power supply goes in there. Now, I want to do this carefully because obviously, what does it say? Like, check twice, bend once, or something like this, it's saying. So, these bits need to come up. Now, this doesn't feel right at all. Oh, well, actually, bends quite smoothly. It's not too cold in here. Right, so to be upright, let's be careful with this. Try and bend them kind of equally. We don't want to be bending them backwards and forwards lots of times. I've not seen anybody say that after it's bent, that they've snapped stuff by accident. So that's not a fear that I currently have, although maybe it's a fear and I just am not aware of it yet. So that's page 2, and now we've got to okay, fold these up and get this wee tab into these holes here, and then fold them over. And which way do they fold? They fold it in the way. Right, so let's do this. Up it goes. Is it right? Yeah, so this bit, yes, okay. I imagine this is for a screw to go in the bottom. Let's just make sure that everything is going to match up. Okay, well that's not too bad. That went in quite comfortably. The paint does crack a bit here. Not hugely noticeable. As long as it doesn't sort of flake off elsewhere. I don't think that's too bad at all. Right, now, so that's that one. Let's fold this tab over. I'm going to push this on this side, fold it over. And then on this side, I'll bend it up. Bendy, 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 bend. Oh, and in. Live streaming on a Thursday night. I don't know if this is the best option, but I was too impatient to wait until the weekend. What, do people watch more live streams at the weekend? If I'm entirely honest, I don't really watch live streams. I occasionally watch them for some like fighting game tournaments and things like this, which I used to be really into. Not into so much anymore because I've got old man reflexes now, and I can't cope with all the required crazy response time that you need to have. Actually, that's not even true. It's not that's half the problem. It's just the stress of it. It's very stressful. Right, so this is a nice thing about music, making music. I never come out of making music feeling stressed. It says I've got to bend this to 90 degrees here. I don't know if you can see that. Bend it to 90 degrees. So I'm just doing this here. Right, bendy, bendy, bend. Okay. Yeah, I never come out of making music feeling stressed. I certainly did with beat-em-up games. Now this has got to go in, and these wee tabs to go in as well. So those get bent out. Okay, so do I do those first? Okay, wait a second. So it's telling me. Bend up. So 1, I've got to push this over for number 1. 1 is over. That's over. Oh, all of them are 90 degrees, it's saying. So all bends here are 90 degrees. So first one, 90 degrees. 1. 2 is this back crease here. Okay, so let's try and bend that 90 degrees. 90 degrees. When I bend this, obviously this will go into this hole now. Right, okay, I don't want to... I'm sure they've thoroughly tested this, but it does feel a bit dubious bending it. Right, okay. Well, let's go across here. Oh no. So you're not to bend it. maybe not bend it more than that. But then getting these in, oh, in you go. All right, so that's them in. So bend 1, 2, bend it over. 3 has got to get bent up this way 90 degrees. Let's keep it in the same orientation as the picture, just as I can't, or I certainly don't want to try and imagine what it'd be like. Yeah, there we go. Guess that's 90 degrees there. Let's just double check them, make sure they're nice and straight. There we go. Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about my music gear of late, what I own and what I want. And I've come to the realization, I'd say that maybe 90% of the time I use my I basically use my OPZ. I don't particularly like using the computer. Although saying that, I'm currently writing a software tracker, which, you know, maybe will make me want to use that kind of thing a bit more. Right, last one, number 7, this one here. So that might make me want to use the computer a bit more. It's very opinionated. I think it'll be quite fun. But yeah, most of the time, it's my OPZ, and I can't help but thinking that Teenage Engineering have done something, you know, quite very clever. You know, they've clearly made something that's very compelling. Let's bend this across, lock it over, and this one too. Right, now this is slightly skew-if, so I might try and bend it back around just to make it a bit more straight. Yeah, there we go. It's getting a bit more square now. Good. Okay, so does that look right? I'm going to go bent this way, bent this way. This is over. That looks good. Now, different piece. So I'll put this to the side. Put over here. It can wait there. Right. Next one. We've got a big, what's this one look like? It's this kind of handle-y looking one. A back plate? Yeah, I imagine it's the back plate. Oh no, the back. Yeah, the back plate. I think it must be. Right, so this one, they're all wrapped in tissue here. It's quite nice. So this one here, this is it, isn't it? Yeah, I think they've done something very smart, Teenage Engineering. Obviously, they've made them very appealing and desirable because they're nicely designed and whatnot. But they're very compelling devices. I think that you know, people talk about they wish they had this feature or that feature, or they wish that you know, an undo in the OP1, or you know, whatever other feature is, or you know, less constraints in some way. But actually, I think by paring it down and having just the core features, and the pocket operators are the perfect example of this. I've got a bunch of the pocket operators and I enjoy using them. They're a really good example of this, that you know, you constrain it and actually it can end up making it much more compelling. And I really struggle with this with a DAW. Sitting in front of it, you can do anything. You can make any sound. There's all a billion plugins. You know, when it's more restricted, I think it's easier to be creative. You get close. Well, I need something close to this, right? These bits have got to be out again, so that looks good. That's the out way, so that's good. You get close to something that you want, and you know, you can't get any closer. So that's it apparently for this part. Let's put this up here just now. Yeah, anyway, you get close to something that you want and you can't get closer, or you don't think you can get any closer, so you don't try to get any closer. And perfect is the enemy of good, they say. So it makes sense that that would help you to be creative. Yes. Another quite boring plate for this one here. Very nice. I don't know why I'm saying very nice. It's like a blank plate. Now we've got to fold in all of these. All of these. Those ones 160 degrees. Well, we can use the the paper as a template, I suppose. Now, they've got to be folded. Aha, now this is key. We want these going out this way. No, that's not right. Well, wait a second. This looks like it's going in the way, but why does this arrow point out? It looks like it's sunk in. And that would make sense given this picture. Very sorry, I'm not sure what's going on with that. So this has got to go on towards the inside. Right, okay, so it must be this way that they've got to get bent. I mean, that would make sense with the way that the picture looks, but it's not kind of what it says. So let's bend this all the way around. Oh, 160 degrees feels more sketchy for some reason. Obviously, you know, they've designed it and tested it. Sure. Keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. Right, that's what are we looking at here? Let's try and line it up. Nope, keep on going. Keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. Right, so that's, what do you think? That looks about right. Let's just make sure everything's straight. That looks about right to me. And then, so these ones get bent that way, and these ones get bent out this way. Do these tabs as well? Yes, they do. Yeah, they do. So let's pull these up 90 degrees. Okay. And 90 degrees this way. Okay, and this way. 90 degrees. And 90 degrees. And 90 degrees. Almost there with these. Are they to go this way as well? Yeah, they are. Good. So, okay, that's that. So, yeah, let's see what's next. There's a different panel now. Okay, so now it's starting to say to assemble. Well, let's try and use what's in the packet, you know, with regards to tools, and then you can guarantee that if you're watching this to see how to build it, I can guarantee that you'll have a somewhat similar experience. Now, I have this little mat though, and I will use that. The color matches and everything. It's like a little magnetic mat, and it stops screws rolling about so much. And I've got these holes here, which is just seems like a bad idea. I'm going to bite this. Right, okay. Now, yeah, these holes seem like a bad idea, and I bet I'll end up chasing screws around the floor. Luckily, my cats are away in the other room, and they will not come and try and knock them all off, just to stress me out. A little bit of a sort of oily stuff. I don't suppose that's so unexpected, really, is it? Right, so let's put these all here. They're all associated with this panel, I'd imagine. Let's put them up here. Now, here's a little tool, little Allen key. Oh, let me see. That's it there. I probably do have a little bit that's as small as this. Yeah, I definitely do, and that'll be set. But I'll use this. I'll use this just in case it's the right tool, or, you know, it's the tool they give you. So this one here, and then the teenage engineering one, let's make sure it's the right way around, and it's saying put this in here. Okay, so this fits in nicely together. Really easy to seat those, and then put 2 screws through. Okay. Well, let's try that. How easy will these screws go in, I wonder? Right, this. Now if this, oh, it's a little hex. It's a little hex one. I don't know if, yeah, I don't know. I do have one of those as well. Okay, so it's not going to fall out too easily. That's good. Now let's try and get it in. I'll try and move my hand out of the way so you can see. Well, that went about as well as could be expected. Right, okay, maybe try it upright like this. No. Okay. Start again. I'm sure that I'll be a dab hand at doing this by the time I finish. No, which does it go? Yeah, this way it goes. Right. Right. There we go. That's it. Feels like it's in. Let me see. Nope. There's no hard edges, is there? It's quite tight. That. Oh yeah, it's very tight, that wee hole. Let's try this. See if it actually. How easy is it to go in there in the first place? Yeah, quite. Okay. It's actually quite difficult to get in that. Can we poke it open a wee bit or something? Should I poke it open a bit? Let's try again. Just make sure that it's not me being stupid. Do I have a pointy thing that I could? Right. Okay. Maybe it's the paint that's making it slightly more difficult. Okay, so it can go in. Right, so maybe the best thing would be screw these in first, unscrew them, and then screw it in. Maybe. Right, I'll do it on this side as well. Okay. Yep. It does go in. It feels pretty secure actually once it does go in. Right, let's see, can we get this in? There we go. Okay, yeah. So that might be the way to do it. Sort of like what do you call that when you're doing it with a drill? A pilot, sort of like a pilot hole, or I don't know if it's called a pilot hole if it's already got a hole. Right, let's see. Oh God. Oh no, it's gone at a funny angle. Come here. Wow, this is just typical, isn't it? It's not the easiest thing, I tell you that. Let's see here. Might get a little pair of pliers as well, just in case. Yeah, right. Okay, 2 seconds. We got a pair of pliers. Right. Okay. I got here. This is. Oh, I don't know how long it was like that. You probably couldn't hear me the whole time that it was like that. Getting that anyway. Right. So that's in now. Hopefully you can see that. What's next? 2 screws in. Huh? Don't over tighten screws. That's good. Just as well. I didn't over tighten them and I read that first. And I didn't because I didn't read that first. Now, next one, we've got another 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. Now, these ones down the bottom, I don't know if you can see that there, they look like they'll be slightly more awkward to get in afterwards. So maybe I should try to do those first. And then the wee feet on after that. That's good. That'll be fun. I don't know why, but the feet seem like they should be a fun thing to do. Now, it must be this way, right? Because they're going to go through, I imagine these bits will go through that hole there. Now, okay, that's probably a good thing. Let's hang this over the top and, yep, and well, okay. And get these in this. So look, you see there, they have to go in there, but then that's difficult to get those in here now. So you do this, and then what? Not sure. Right, okay, well, there we go. That's good. Right, and then is there enough room here? Yeah, there's enough room to screw those in. Okay, so let's put it upright. Okay, so looking good. And here, right, and down the way these have to go. So let's push those down. And then, well, oh, actually, maybe I should do the screws. Let's do the screws first. It does tell me to do the screws first. So obviously, let's try to follow the instructions, at least for now, before I go off. Totally off. Off from one. Let me see, is that right? Registered that right? Let's try this. I did not pre-screw this in like I said I should. I don't even know if it's lined up properly, to be honest. It does feel pretty good though. Yes. Yes, there we go. Good, that went in. It actually went in much easier than the ones on the other side. Don't over tighten. Ah, these ones get tightened from the front, so they won't be too bad at all to get in. Let's put this one in here. Oh no. Wait a second, I think I hear my daughter crying. 2 seconds. It's okay. Her mum, my wife has just gone to get her. You okay? I wonder what she's awake for this time. Right, okay, let's try here. Let's screw this in here. Again, this went in pretty good this time. Let's try again. Right, okay, very good. There we go, that went in no problem. Actually, these ones are much easier to screw in, so I'm glad I didn't start just pre-screwing them all in, because they actually went in fine. But if you're having trouble screwing them in, I suppose that's the best thing that you could do. Or maybe use a little tool to push them through. Now, I'm conscious that if I'm not careful here, then this will roll all the way down, and then probably through a wee tiny gap in the table. I wonder if you have spare screws. I don't want to risk it. That's another one there. Yes, I bet I can see that happening. Still not doing anything about it. Oh. Okay, screw in here. And come on. Oh man, this one's pretty tough to get in. Right, okay, there we go. That's gone in now. Yeah, once it goes in. Not too bad. It went all the way through. Yeah, it's not too bad at all. Right, now, step 15. Bend these down. Zoop. I wonder if I should make an edited video of this as well. That'd be useful to anybody, or if you want to see it live. Don't know what's better. Right, we've got to put the wee feet on, so let's open those up now. Oh no, they're going rolling. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now they have Teenage Engineering on one side. No, on both sides. Don't know if you can see those. Yes, they have embossed with Teenage Engineering. Is that focused? Yeah. Okay, so all right, we stick these in. I'd imagine like this. Maybe I should have posted somewhere that I was live streaming. Maybe more people would be interested. Go on Reddit or something. Oh, I don't know. This type of stuff. It's a pain. I like the making videos part, actually. Don't mind that too much at all. But the promoting it, which of course is important. You've got to get people to actually find your videos. I don't enjoy that much. I like the idea of a community though. I thought this is why I quite fancied live streaming, because, you know, you could chat to folk and they can tell you what they're up to. Maybe they've got one. They can tell you why you're doing it wrong, which is actually, you know, I'm not too sensitive. I don't mind if People tell me I'm wrong. Obviously, not all the time. Not when I'm right. That's not as much fun. Okay, so let's put this panel down for the rest of the time. So it's got a kind of wee handle here. You can hold on to it. It's quite nice for moving it around. Now, the next part. Front panel. So it's going to get a 90-degree bend in it as well. I think that's the last thing in here. Yep, think twice, bend once. It's good advice. Good advice. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? Looks very nice. Yeah, very nice. I wonder how much cheaper it is because you assemble it yourself. You know, like I wonder how much it costs to pay someone to assemble it. Like, I mean, if Teenage Engineering were to pay someone to assemble it. I mean, because personally, I think it's quite fun. I wonder how off-putting it is. Let's use this gap to bend this. Let's try that. All right, let's put this in here. Put in this wee gap and then bend it like that. Yeah, okay, that works. And I can bend it all at the same time. No, not too fast. Yeah, I wonder how much money it saves them because, you know, obviously, I'd imagine in the manufacturing process, it's quite an expensive part of it. Because obviously, well, it's manual, or it's expensive to do the, you know, the tooling to automate it to make it cheap. And I imagine the volumes they're doing in these, I don't know how many it will be. Thousands, I suppose. I doubt they're selling millions of them. Pretty specialist thing. So with those kinds of volumes, maybe it just makes sense to offer it as a kit. I mean, it's much more fun. I think it's much more fun like that. But like I said, I imagine people find it off-putting. I wonder if there'd be a business in assembling them for people. There's other ones as well, isn't there? Is there a Korg one that you have to assemble yourself, which came out relatively recently? There we go. That's that. Right. And then we've got this here. M1 to 15. And it has these wee spacers here. Okay. Spacer. M1 to 15. That must be this power bar thing. Power distro. Let's take a look and see. Anti-static bag around it. M1 to 15. What does M1 to 15 mean? It says M. Doesn't say anything about 1 to 15. Not sure what that's in reference to. Looks like there are more screws here. Now, try and keep these separate. These are the screws for the chassis, I suppose. Or extra. They can't be all extra ones. Right, there we go. Anti-static bag. Little extra screws, or little screws for this one. And then what's this here? What's this? That's funny looking, isn't it? Oh, it's an LED. It's bent around. That's the two wires of it. It smells really nice. I'm not sure if I should be smelling it. Don't know if it's a toxic thing. Aha, now look, there are some little spacers. Now, this is something different, I think, actually, because I think before you had to cut these in half yourself, I think. And because I saw this on a video ages and ages ago, but I think they now have wee half-size ones. I think they do anyway. I think that's what's happened. Let's see. Let's use this knife here to cut this wee bag open so everything doesn't get lost. Are these made of metal? No, are they? Not sure whether these are made of metal or plastic. Right, okay, well, that's that. No, I think they are. I think they're plastic. Right, they're not little sort of standoffs. Well, they are standoffs, but not like wee brass standoffs like you get with a motherboard in a computer or something like that. Okay, right. Let's see. Right, let's put this knife on me. It's actually very sharp, that knife. Although I'm not one of these knife people, so they make me nervous anyway. Useful though. There we go. There's a little board. Now, there's no other way. Yeah, that must be the right way. There's no other way it could go. Now it's saying you put the screw through and then one of these on top. Okay. And then it's sort of got, this is the wee shielding bit so it doesn't short when with the power, I'd imagine. And these are quite narrow wee screws, these ones. So can I screw these in, yeah, that should work. Screw them on and put them on top. Let's try and see if that strategy works. Oh, well, these ones screw in very easily, actually. You know what? Why am I doing this? I'm going to get my little tool because I'll be able to spin it around. You know, I'm cheating. I'm not using the wee tool that they have. I'm using this one here. And let's try and match up. Looks like it's about this size. Okay. Save my wrist. Let's see if that's right. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so this goes in. Although, saying that, would it be easier to hold that? Let's try it like this and see how that works. Put it in like this. Okay, so, and then this wee board, and then screw this on top. Or is that just going to be a total pain? Right, careful, Chris, don't lose one. I think this might be easier. Yeah. Okay. Let's think again. What might be... Right, let's unscrew this just now. I actually think that it might be... Almost lost that there. This might be easier. This is not screwed in. Right, okay. So put it in a little bit so that it sort of sits in. Put it in a little touch more. Then like this. And then screw it in like this. Oh yeah, that's the way to do it. Nice, that worked. Now imagine once I've got the first couple on, it'll be a bit easier. Might try the one on this corner here. Right. Let's try it in this corner here. Don't know how well you can see this. Oh, this one's, the hole's bigger. This might actually be easier. Now, you can see I've got a little pair of tweezers there. Let's see. Maybe I don't need them. This one's a bit easier to get to. Because it doesn't have those things in the way, so. Right, let's start it off. Then I can screw it with a screwdriver. This only threaded on one side. Let's try the other side. Okay, good. Right, so that's started. Let's put this in and screw it in. Oh, it's quite fun. I'm enjoying this. Reminds me of Meccano. My big brother had Meccano when I was wee. I occasionally played with it. Although I'll have to say, most of the time when we were using it, or I was using it, I used it to make a kind of ominous looking spinning things to scare away my little sister. Right, let's see. It's going in. There we go. It's just about to come through. And there we go. My brother was good at this type of stuff though. When he was wee, he used to build all sorts of amazing things. He had Lego Technic, which he did some cool things. A big crane he made with it. I don't think he had any sort of plans to build it as well, which was quite cool. So let's do the other side here, and then we do the ones in the middle. Don't know if that's the right way to do it, but so yeah, I'm doing it. I might live to regret it. Put this in here. Okay. Right. Yeah, I think definitely a wee pair of tweezers. Those pliers are too big. A wee pair of tweezers. Got one here. This might help. Right. So, am I going to have a strong enough grip with those? Right. Well, let's see. There's the wee screw. This is the, this is the most awkward. Yeah, definitely you need something. So as we, oh no, that's not going to work. Right at the end of these tweezers. Oh my goodness, this one is fiddly. I imagine this will probably be the most fiddly part, to be honest, because it's not as much access to it. Oh my goodness me. Right. Okay, well, okay, I'll tell you what. Let's get this in here, hold it nice and flat and steady. And this, hold that. Okay, oh my goodness, this bit is definitely fiddly. Right, okay. Put these over the top, try and screw it in. Oh, I think I've got it. I think it has a bit on. Right, there we go, nice. Right, okay, so that's 4 out of 8. Now let's get those other ones. These ones, I don't think these ones will be as bad because I can sit in between there. So let's try here. I can't really see the footage here. Hopefully you can actually see something whilst I'm doing this. Or it's a waste of your time. Then maybe you want to hear me inanely chat about my childhood. Let's go this one here. Is that right? Is there a particular side? Well, that looks a bit better. Seems to have gone in, so that whether it is or isn't better. Let's have one there. And here we go here. Oh. Sorry, not trying so much now because it's fiddly. So keep this in mind. If you don't like fiddly things. There we go. That's 1, 2. They're lovely, these wee screws. They actually look very nice against the yellow. That's a weird thing to say. Now the other ones you might not be able to see so well. I'm putting them in because they are underneath this bit here. But it's the same process again, right? It's nothing. You're not missing much. Right, okay. Okay, there. Probably something like this. Right, and then if I put this in this side, 1, 2, 3. Good, and then I can feel it tightening already. Don't want to tighten it too much. And then the last one is, I think this might be one of the more fiddly parts, if I'm honest. Maybe that's wishful thinking. Actually, it's been not too bad at all so far. Right, I might. Oh no. Oh, that would be bad if I dropped that. Would we have to? Yep, there we go. Good. So that's in. Feels like it's in. Not too tight. Okay, so that's the wee power delivery board fixed in place. Next, module assembly. Now, what does this mean? Same principle as for that. You get this, then screws go in them. Screws go in the bottom, screws go in the top, knobs go on. Does it have anything detailed for speaker? Okay, module assembly. Well, let's do it. I'm going to do one at a time, I think. And well, we start with the oscillators. Yeah, start with the oscillators, and then the speaker was different. So let's start. And is the sequencer different? Speaker is different. Stack up. Okay, right. So that's not too bad at all. Right, we're not worried about that. This one and then this one. So let's start with, what's the first one? The square oscillator. The most important of the oscillators, in my opinion. You can't do without a nice square oscillator. Right. Right, okay, here's the square oscillator here. Very nice. How's it all going? So it's an hour it's been. Okay, it feels like it's taken much longer because I've been faffing, but it's not too bad. Right, now there it's there. Let's get rid of the box for this. Although again, I'm going to keep all these little boxes because I can't help it. Let's have a look here. Right. There's the little standoffs. Those are the bigger standoffs this time. And the little screws. So they're same size screws as not those ones, but the other ones. And there's the power cable. Now I'll leave all the power cables out to start with. So what it was saying, now let's have a look here. Okay, it's just got a bit of, is that flux on it? Not sure what that is. Anyway, better keep it away from the electronic components. So it's square, really neat looking little boards. Is that all it takes to make an oscillator, is it? All those wee tiny components there. Very cool. Right, so let's first off screw on the standoffs. So let me get I'll be right back. I'm going to get that's me back. Right. Just got a wee pair of scissors here. I thought that would be better for it, so that everything doesn't go flying all over the place. Let's snip this off. There's the wee standoffs. These ones are longer than the last ones, but are they still, they are plastic, I think. Maybe they have to be for charge. What do you call it? So it doesn't short everything out. Make sure I get the last one out here. But then it's brass in a motherboard standoff. It's not plastic in a motherboard. You'd imagine, yes, similar principle. Right, okay, let's move this out of the way. Yeah, I'm not going to assemble it. I'm going to do them one at a time. So we'll keep this here. Build one, put it in. Build up one, put it in. I think that'd be more fun than like putting all the standoffs in. And it stops me losing stuff as well. So it's just the same things. Yeah, same type of screws on either side. Yeah, and they look the same basically. So this is the way that it's going. Same deal as before then. Let's put this on and then screw it in. I've no idea if anybody has watched. If anybody is in chat or anybody is watching, then please say hello. Tell me what you're up to. There we go. Right, okay. This in here, another wee tricky one. That's not too bad. Yeah, I just have to hold it at one side, screw it at the other. Definitely easier with this screwdriver than with a little tool, but you know, you could definitely do it with that tool. It wouldn't be a problem. Right, let's just make sure they're nice and straight. Otherwise, I'd find that very difficult to cope with. Right, and so that's 2 out of 4. Let's get the next ones on, and then we'll get it going. This cable is going to go behind, so I'll move it around there just now. I'm so worried about this wall. I know I should put something over it to stop something falling down there. But you know, these are the types of things you wish you'd done after the fact. So keep on going with the terrible way that I've decided to do it for now. What is going on? Right, okay, try again. The screw doesn't seem to hold on as well. And this wire's in the way. That's my own fault, I just put it in the way. Let's hold it like that. And once we get it started, it's no hassle. Yeah, it's just getting it started. There we go. That's it. Right. Oh, what am I doing? I've done it the wrong way around. Egypt, just as well I noticed. Didn't. Right, let's try it like this. Can I just screw it? You know what? Can I initially just screw it by hand? Will it go in? Yeah, that's not too bad. Then I could tighten it. Actually, you know what? Oh, it's no problem. I just do it by hand. That's a new technology. Twist it in with your hands. Much easier than doing it with the wee screwdriver or the wee one that came with it as well. Yeah, there we go. That's easier. You just hold it and twist it because it doesn't need to get tightened that much anyway, and it just kind of bite on. Right, so that's the standoffs there. Hopefully you can see them. There, they're going to get attached to the front panel. So square, and then this will get kept out the way. Okay. So it must go in this way. Right, let's have a look at it and see what it looks like. Oh yeah, it looks nice with little black details once they're now. These are the knobs here. Okay, so now is that how well registered is that? Can I just hold it like this and then start to screw them in? Yep, that's good. Right, and I'll put one over this. Then we'll tighten them up all in one go. Now what's this one for? I can't tell which one's this. Is this for? Yeah, that must be this one. Sorry. So it's these holes here, not the ones in the bottom. The other ones must be, yeah, for the filter and the LFO. Apparently. Yeah, you can. They're not too bad to screw in with your hands. So do them like this, and then I'll go in and tighten them up later. Oh, this one's a bit trickier. What's going on here? I feel like it's... Ah, good, it is actually in now. Right, in it goes. Wee tiny screws. Wonder if anybody's watching this. Is that right? Oh no, I've just not put the other one in there. See, this is the kind of nonsense that I'm interested in watching on YouTube. Like, I should have went to bed, and I'm lying on the sofa at like 2 in the morning, watching somebody, you know, I mean, Big Clive, I was going to say, but of course, Big Clive, he does it with you know, he does it with panache. He manages to make disassembling electronics really entertaining to watch. Never mind his fizzy drink, or not, his carbonation of things that should not be made fizzy, like milk and stuff. Right, so next, what do we have next? That's the square. I think that's in. Fine. Not put the knobs on yet, but I'll leave them off. Do you leave them off just now? Yeah, well, I'll do them all later. So saw next. I don't want to open the bag and get stuff all over the place. Right, saw wave. Right, there's the saw tooth oscillator. Looks nice. Okay. Right, okay, down it goes. There it is again. There's this, and we once we'll put the anti-static bag over there. You know, I'll probably end up keeping the anti-static bags as well, much to the ire of my wife, although it'll be hidden away in the cupboard. She'll never know. What are these for, I wonder? That looks like you could solder wee pads for soldering, so you could solder switches or something, maybe to activate them. There was an interesting post on Teenage Engineering Now. Was it Now it's called? Their like little news site, with a guy that had built a really cool synthesizer out of wood and all sorts of things. And I think he used these modules. And now, actually, thinking about it, I think Teenage Engineering sell the modules separately. I suppose if you want to do something like that. I mean, for £350, you know, like it's not cheap, but I think it's cheaper than if you were to buy them all the Eurorack module, like Eurorack format modules for them. I think it's definitely got to be cheaper than that, right? Maybe there are not as many features as some of the Eurorack modules. It gives me the fear. I could see lots of money getting wasted on Eurorack if I started getting into it. Because I would get an idea in my head and then I'd keep on going after it until I, got that, whatever that ideal was. And of course there is no ideal. New modules come out and stuff like this. Some really cool ideas though, with some of the modules that I've seen people messing around with on YouTube. Yeah, so with this, I mentioned earlier that I'm writing a software tracker, basically taking that as an opportunity to play around with a bunch of things. Like, for example, I'd really like to do sort of physical modeling synthesis. Now, I am not an expert in this area, although I have been reading up quite a lot about this type of thing, digital signal processing of late. So, trying to get better at that kind of side of things. But I mean, that's partly why I'm doing it, partly just doing it to learn. It's, there's some things that are kind of tangentially related to my job, which is as a research scientist at a university. I run a research lab. So it's sort of tangentially related to that stuff. Some of it could be. I am, maybe for some of my students that actually work in the lab, we do all sorts of things with with signal processing and stuff. Obviously, and I do lots of data science type things, which, of course, the types of signals that we're interested in, some of them are kind of similar to audio signals, or the principles are the same, but mostly it has enough in common that, I think I've got like a vague aptitude for it, and I did lots and lots of programming in years past. I don't get to do much of it anymore. Pretty much entirely spend my time writing grants to enable other people to do science experiments. But I used to do lots of programming and stuff. So I still really enjoy that, and it's the thing I miss the most. So this is why I do little projects. You'll see if you're interested in any of this kind of stuff. You can. I talk about MIDI surf. I don't think I've done anything really about the programming of it. Have I? I can't remember if I have or I haven't. Mostly about how to use it and stuff. I might do something about how it's programmed. It's actually quite interesting. It uses a wee language called Elm, which is a functional programming language, and it's quite different from, normal like JavaScript or something like this, normal web programming languages. That looks so nice, doesn't it? with the little black details on it. Very nice. The only thing, and I mean it's part of their aesthetic, I get it. The only thing I find quite odd is the fact that they never use capital letters. Like capital letters they're useful, you know. Gives us this kind of hazy quality if there's never any capital letters. What's this saying? Oh, YouTube's saying something. You can show or hide something. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. Let me see. I don't know if anybody's. I don't know where I can see if anybody's on the stream. It could be thousands of people, you know, cheering me on. There we go. This is the sign one. Very nice. Yeah, this could be, you know, absolute sensation. Worldwide, people are going crazy about this live stream. I don't know. More likely, I think that it's probably just me here by myself. But I'm recording the footage, and then, of course, I'll probably edit down a shorter version later on. And, you know, if people are interested, I can, well, I'll edit it down and then upload it to the channel. I'm trying to, you know, obviously, like, the YouTube stuff is a hobby. So is the sort of software stuff, like MIDI surf. It's useful, like people are using it, but it's just a hobby for me mostly. It's an excuse to program. You know, and people are paying money for it as well, which is good. I'm really pleased that people would think that it was worthwhile. There's a wee sign module. Now, that's interesting. Does the sign module have more components than the other ones? Maybe is there more ports in it? I don't think so. Right, okay. There we go. So let's same again. It's going to be a lot of this for a while. Just sticking these things through. Nothing for it but to get at it. What I'm going to do once it's assembled, I have a play with it. I definitely need to test it. I wonder if I could set it up so that the well, you know, I might just put it into the audio interface. I was going to say, I wonder if I could set it up so that the OPZ is recording the speaker. I don't know what that would sound like. I don't know if that'd be interesting. Rather than it going directly into the OPZ or going into the audio interface. I don't know how bad the speaker is. I suppose depending on the type of sound that you're doing. Might be too tinny for certain sounds. Right, there we go. Next one. Here we go. Put this in here. That's 3 out of 4. Yeah, it's much easier with your hands. With these ones anyway, because you can get your hands into them. What is the material that's not copper on a printed circuit board? What is that? Is it some sort of plastic, right? I'd imagine. I don't know what kind of plastic it is though. Ceramic, is it maybe? No, definitely it's plastic, right? Well, if somebody's watching this later, please tell me in the comments because I'm sure I'll forget to Google it. I mean, it looks lovely, this. Such a nice, well-designed device. Oh, there's that wee LED. I didn't notice that that's where it was coming through to. Right, let's loosely tighten these. 1, 2, 3. I think I'm getting faster, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Aha. Do I have an extra one for this? That's good. I'll keep that over here. Spare number 1. I'm interested in hearing about like the early days of synthesis, audio synthesis, or maybe when it was taking off, becoming more popular. And you've got people like Giorgio Moroder and um, Wendy Carlos and people like that, and then Vangelis, and it must have been very exciting. The types of sounds. I try to think, they basically never heard sounds like that before, which I think is such a startling thought, right? That it's totally new, that you've never heard that type of sound before. Because now we're aware of it, right? And we know it's possible. So you know that you could basically, with a computer, make any sound that you like. But before, there was certain sounds you could make. There was things that were, for example, sorry, this is the wee mixer one here. Mixer. Just going to put that on next. There were certain sounds that you couldn't make, right? Because if it's not the way that sound works. So like, if you take a snare drum and you reverse the sound of it, it just is unphysical, right? The way that the sound develops, it's I don't think you get sounds in nature that sounded like that. You've got usually it's loud and rapidly decays. You wouldn't usually have it starting off quiet, then going to a rapid crescendo, and then nothing. So, those sounds before certainly before being able to record sound, just not the kind of thing that you could make. It's interesting to think about. But what's the next thing? Is there anything like that from an audio perspective? Probably not. But is it going to be VR, or being able to make realities that we couldn't have imagined before? Is that the right way around? Yeah, I think so. Oh, it's just because the standoffs aren't on it yet. That's why it doesn't feel right. So there's sort of realities, there's, feelings that we couldn't imagine before, that were just unphysical. Don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Don't know if I like the sound of that. Designing novel sensations that are only possible in virtual reality. Yeah, I don't know. People don't seem to be running towards it that quickly. This week Apple announced their VR headset, and I think I know one person. I have access to VR headsets and stuff in my work. I've used them before. I occasionally use them as a teaching tool, but I've got a computer that's powerful enough to run one. Just not that interested in it. I don't know. They're kind of a bit clunky and big, so maybe when they get miniaturized a bit more, then that should be possible. That'll be more interesting to me. When you could get rid of your screen and just have an augmented reality screen, that I think is quite appealing. But I want it to be like the size of my glasses or something, so that I could go around and interact with people. And then as well, actually, there's drawbacks to that as well. We're already looking at our phones too much. And if you can have glasses which are presenting all sorts of different information and stuff, different stimuli, then that wouldn't be, well, it's going to be that to the nth degree, isn't it? Oh well, can't fight progress, I suppose. There'll be people that are dead against it, reject it. I don't think. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe I'm not. When you're younger, you look at older people and their, ability to work with technology, manipulate new technological devices, and you think, like, how can't you work a VCR? That's what it was when I was wee. Like, how don't you know the button to turn the VCR on? You bought the VCR, And then you get you sort of think, well, you know, how are they're not capable? They're not capable of doing that, and then you realize as you get older, it's not that they're not capable. They weren't capable of it. They just couldn't be. Just couldn't be bothered. You know, it's like you draw a line in the technology that you learn to use, and then after that, you just go, okay, well, the rest that comes along, I'll get someone else to do it for me. Well, that's looking quite nice now. This little section is complete. Let's put the screws in. So yeah, I don't know, what is that technology? Am I at that point yet? Where it's like new technology, like VR and stuff, and like GPT? I get it. It's exciting. It's interesting, but it's not that interesting. You know, what's next here? Let's go along this way. LFO next. We even, I mean, my lab, we use AI a lot, although we call it machine learning because that's what, yeah, I don't know, it's slightly less of a provocative term. But you know, it's ChatGPT, these generative models, they're cool. The generative models that are producing these incredible images and stuff. But again, I don't know. I heard someone say that you know there's mass manufactured plates and things, but people still buy hand decorated plates. And is this what it's going to be like with art and music? That you know that it's just produced at huge quantities by these neural networks, but people are still going to want the real thing. And I suppose it, you know, how could you guarantee it? Well, I suppose live performance and whatnot. But the only way that you guarantee it would be the real thing. Go and see a person paint something or build something in front of you. Because that's the process, I suppose. That's an interesting thought. Like, whilst the end product you can produce really easily, the process, there is no process or no sort of physical discernible process. And actually, it's one of the things that I'm most interested in when it comes to art and music, for example. And understanding the process is a really interesting thing in itself. Obviously, the final artifact, the bit of music or the painting or whatever, is important and interesting. But the you know it's the process that's the really, for me, the really intriguing part. You know, how did they do this? What were they thinking when they were doing it? You know, what were they meaning? The interpretation of it. Now, if it's a neural network, what does it mean? Well, you can kind of, maybe you could try and think, well, what in the training data, what bits are coming out in there? You know, what things have people put in the training data that's now being reflected in the product of the neural network? But again, that's not as, you know, you'll never know, and or it's unlikely with the current methods of machine learning we use that you would know. And it sort of, is it deliberate? I don't know. It could probably rationalize its decisions to you. Why have you painted this color and that color? And of course, it's got lots of, ChatGPT, for example, has got lots of training data that is probably art critics talking about art. So it could probably talk pretty eloquently about what it was, post-rationalize what its intentions were. But it's not the same as watching somebody make something and then, you know, and understanding what they've done. Of course, a lot of it though is your own interpretation of these things. Like you project your own interpretation, and of course, it's a perfectly, you know, the artists might have had a different idea, but what your impressions are important. I can remember I liked Donnie Darko when I was a teenager, but everyone my age liked Donnie Darko when they were a teenager. And the first time I saw it was very exciting. After I saw it, so it's a filter next, that's that one there, filter next. And after I saw it, you know, I saw it with a friend and my dad. We watched it, we got it from the video shop. And then we sat and we talked about it, about Donnie Darko and what it all meant after that for a good while. And yeah, discussed it. Now, I still like it. It's still a really good film. But a few years after that, the director's cut for it came out. And is it Richard Kelly? Is that what he's called, the director of it? The guy that wrote and directed it? Now, in the director's cut, it's a lot more explicit what the story is. And I think what's happened is he thought, I've wrote this cool story and people don't really understand it. I hear all these interpretations and it's not what I wrote. You know, they've not picked it up. And then he's sort of explicitly spelled out what the story was. I mean, you know, it's still an interesting story. It's cool. I like it was close to my interpretation of it. But as soon as you do that, as soon as you sort of spell it out like that, you've kind of like, you've invalidated all of the other interpretations. This is something David Lynch does really well, right? Like he has a film and people ask him what it's about and he goes, I don't know what it's about. Like, I don't know what it's about. Why does it need to be about something? Why does it need to have a meaning? And obviously, I bet he's had an interpretation of what it meant when he was writing it. But he doesn't want to invalidate your interpretation. Although, I'm not that deep. When I watch David Lynch's films, most of the times, like, you know, Razorhead, we watched that a few years ago at Halloween because we thought kind of body horror. But, you know, it's disturbing in a different, it's not in a horror way that it's disturbing. It's, you know, I don't know. It's too, yeah, I find it more unsettling. It's unsettling in a different kind of way to like, you know, a monster movie or something like this, or something with demons in it. And it's not the things that physically happen to him, it's the atmosphere and the environment. Yeah, very disturbing. But again, it's one of these films that I have to say that when I watched it at the time, I didn't really enjoy it that much. This is a Razorhead that I'm talking about. But I think about it all the time. So, you know, it's been successful as far as a piece of art goes. It was like this with No Country for Old Men, and that might be controversial. That it's you know, I think that people love it, and it's a brilliant film. Don't get me wrong, but when I watched that first, I was so dissatisfied, in particular with the ending. I thought that the ending, which I won't spoil, I was like, what was the point in that? And then, but the thing was that I thought about it a lot. I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it. It's not like there was any clarity or whatnot, or you know. But and then whenever it's on the TV, or not the TV so much nowadays, but I see it on streaming service or something, a lot of the time I'll watch it. There we go. That's the filter in. 3 outputs from the filter. That's cool. 3 outputs from everything. Very cool. Right. So next we've got envelope, VCA, VCA, envelope. Okay, let's go and have a look and see. Envelope. Got one here. Envelope. Modular 5. Let's see. Can I see if anybody's been actually on? Oh, there have been people on. That's surprising. Well, that's good. Oh no, I don't know if there's anybody on at the moment though. Oh, there we go. That's the actual. Where does it say? Can I make that bigger? Views. Concurrent viewers. Does that mean like the currently active viewers? Or like how many maximum we're watching at a time? Oh, is that somebody on just now? It says concurrent viewer. Right, okay, this is what we've got in here. Does that mean that there's someone watching currently? Or, I don't know. Right, okay. There we go. Envelope. Very nice. And we'll open up these wee bits again. Does that mean that they've been on before? I'm not sure. Anyway, did I finish my thought about No Country for Old Men? I can't remember if I did. Anyway, my point was that I was very dissatisfied with the ending, but actually, and I have to say that at the time I was like, did I enjoy that? I'm not sure if I did. But then I think about it a lot, and I watch it every time it's on. So again, it's done its job. It's just I don't think that sometimes art doesn't have to be satisfying. You know, it's inherently sort of dissatisfying. You know, it could be an inherently dissatisfying thing. That's the response that you want. Now, obviously, a lot of the time when you're watching a film or something, you don't want to be dissatisfied. It's probably not a winning strategy to dissatisfy your audience. Oh, well, I mean, well, what do I know? Right, okay, there's another sound. This is much easier to do with your fingers than try and do it with the wee screwdriver. Put it through the hole, get the stand off, scooch it round, and there, that's that. And then another one, and then there's 4 more here. So it looks like I've got a spare one left over, just in case I drop another one down. Right. These are this wee bit. How long have I been doing this for now? Oh, only an hour and a half. That's not too bad. Right, well, probably can. Yeah, I think I could probably get it finished in one go, actually. Because after this is the fiddliest bit well, like the most time-consuming bit. Right, this is an envelope, and let's put this envelope in here. Hope that both the envelopes are the same. I assumed that they were. They seem to, it seems to fit, yeah, they look the same. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it in particular. First thing, I definitely want to try and get trig out of, use the line module and use trig to trigger the sequencer and then feed it back into the line module. Because there's no CV on the line module. So that's one thing, you know, there's this key here, which is there's like control voltage for the key. And I wonder if I can get some like little MIDI to CV adapter, if there's such a, there must be such a thing, right? Is it like it must be a standard voltage that it can understand. I might get that, and then I can send MIDI from the OPZ without having to have the OpLab module. Now the OpLab module would be nice, right? Because you can automate these parameters, but then I can't feed it into the OPZ as easily. That's this envelope finished. Right, now a VCA. To say that's actually quite a lot of fun. I'm enjoying making this up. It's not too difficult. VCA. You know, I think this is one of the things about synthesis that confused me for the longest. Like I didn't get what the VCA was for. You know, it seems kind of a bit stupid now. You've got a signal going in, and it's amplifying it. And of course, it's voltage controlled, so you can change the level of the amplification so that you can hear the sound or you can't hear the sound. It's as simple as that, right? But I didn't get that. I suppose with this, I'll be using an envelope to trigger the VCA. So it kind of becomes apparent what it's for. Put this down here, get them all lined up. if you can hear that. It's my wife typing in the background. Working away. She's a hard worker. Let's see here. Okay. Put this in there. I don't know. Let's check. Is the health of it? How do I check the health of it? Is there like an obvious thing on the front panel? This is the first time I've done a streaming. I don't know if this is even going out. I like the idea of streaming though. Like, I don't know if for programming and things as well. Again, I watch that kind of stuff, but you kind of think, is anybody interested in watching me, you know, bug fix some code for hours on end? But then again, you know, maybe people could say, oh look, you've missed a semicolon or whatever. Actually quite helpful. Now I tell you what, actually, this goes very nicely. I've got a pair of like IKEA Frecken speakers, the little teenage engineering ones. I actually got them. I got it reduced. I don't know. They had some spare. Obviously, they hadn't sold particularly well because they had some spare. But I tell you, which I'm kicking myself about now. I didn't get the subwoofer or the little lights. I would have liked to get them. And now, if you look on Reverb, or then they're insanely expensive. Not too. They come up. I've not seen a subwoofer on eBay. Although I haven't been looking particularly hard. I haven't set an alert up or anything. But they're nice wee speakers. I like them a lot. Even getting the battery pack for them was kind of awkward because it was a standard IKEA. Oh, that almost gone down that gap. There's a standard IKEA battery pack that they take, and again, that is I don't think that they sell it anymore. So I hope that it doesn't die, the one I have. I'm sure that I'll be able to find some replacement for it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's VCA 1 in. Let's put VCA. It's actually getting a bit of heft to it now. I suppose that's maybe not surprising. It's got for a bit of stuff in it. Right, what was I getting? VCA. Yep, the second VCA. There we go. Same as the last one, I suppose. Ooh, lovely packaging, it really is. I think, and I was saying this the other day on the OP forums, I think that the OPZ should be the Pocket Operator Z, the POZ, not the OPZ. Because it's got so much, it interfaces very nicely with Pocket Operators, and it has so much in common with them. It's got the, it's sequence-based. It's got punch-in effects, all sorts of things like this. I think it kind of feels like a Pocket Operator thing. It's also not quite as expensive. It's not cheap, but which I think is probably why they called it the OP instead. What does OP stand for in OP1? I've never checked. Does it stand for operator? Operator 1. Don't know if that makes any sense. Just suppose it has to. Maybe it stands for something Swedish. Something deep and meaningful in Swedish. Right, okay. Right, there we go. That's that. And then another one here. This bit. I suppose if I make an edited form of this, which I'll need to, I'll have to speed past this bit because it's the same thing over and over again for a while. You know, I'm recording this 1080p. How big the recording's getting. I've got about a terabyte of storage on this drive. Not filling it up. Right, VCA. So this should be a VCA as well. Let's just double check though. Yes, good. Okay, well it wouldn't have fitted anyway. If it had have been something else. I have to say, like, I really like the look of this. These even the wee screws being black like this. It's very nice. Right, there we go. So it gets, is this PO pocket operator clock coming out? I'd imagine it would be, right? So you can synchronize it. Can I take another audio signal, like an external audio signal, and bring it in here? Like, could I mix in a pocket operator signal into that part? Right, is this one in properly? No, it's not. Let's just double check all and make sure that they're all looking good. Okay, that's that. Then now envelope. Then it's the sequencer. Envelope sequencer, and then the noise. Those are two noise modules, random noise. I don't know what the rand module, well, I mean, I do know what the rand module does. It makes something random signal, right? What's this? Sequencer envelope. We want another envelope. But I don't know what it can be used for. Okay, there we go. Got that envelope there. And get rid of this box. It's pretty crazy that you can do this. Broadcast like this to, you know, to the whole world. Or most of the world, whoever can get YouTube. You know, it took me 20 minutes or something to set it up. Didn't take me anywhere near as long. Even the gear that I'm using, this over here is just an old phone, an old Android phone. It seems to be doing well with this streaming, like a webcam software that I got for it. It's pretty stable. There we go. Yeah, what an amazing thing. You know, before, making and sharing media was was incredibly difficult. You know, it was the preserve of very large companies. And now anybody can do it. And of course, that's the problem with it now, is that lots and lots of people are doing it, and it's harder to get people to notice. But then at the same time, you can get your own wee audience. You know, that's what I want from the YouTube channel. So like you have your own wee audience. They are into the little tiny, very niche thing that you're doing in your particular random chat. And you appeal to those people. And, you know, I'm not chasing views. People get something interesting, useful out of my videos, I'm really happy. I don't need to make a living off of it. I think that's quite a nice position to be in, you know, having it as a hobby. Hopefully cultivate more of a community. I've got almost 500 subscribers now. It's mad. 500 people that decided, I like this. This was good. I'll watch some more stuff this guy makes. It's a You know, it's a wonderful thing. Right, there we go. Right, there we go. That's this row finished. Square, square oscillator, saw, sine, mixer, LFO filter, ENV, VCA, VCA, and ENV. Cool, nice one. Oh, looks so nice. Feels so nice. Right, next thing. Oh, what is the next row? Sequencer, noise, rand. Then the speaker, and it has a different thing for the speaker. Sequencer next. There we go. Nice color in this packet. I say that, I'm colorblind. How do I know if it's a nice color? But it looks like a nice color to me. Ooh, this is a really hefty one. Feels nice. I wonder if there's people making custom cases for like this. Ooh. Oh, my wife sneezed. I'm frightened. Let's see. Oh, this one's fiddly. Quite hard to get out. Okay, there we go. Oh, it's got a little, a wee LED, of course, for show the tempo, I'd imagine. So this looks nice. Look at that. What are these? All these wee microcontrollers. What are they? I don't know what those chips are. So I'm sure I could find from the number on them or whatnot. Right, let's pop this away. And then let's get these out here. Right, so we standoffs again. And then all the screws. Get those as well. I tell you, you know, I was mentioning earlier about understanding or you know, the process, knowing something about the process of somebody making art or making anything, you know, somebody making things. It's I thought that there's something interesting about Mac DeMarco's album that came out a few weeks ago, One Wayne G, which I've been listening to a lot, and that's really, you know, that's the really interesting thing about it is you can see the process, because obviously it's like 2018 to 2000 when was it? To 2022 or to the beginning of this year, 2023. Anyway, I can't remember, but it's interesting because you get to see something about the process, because he released a bunch of albums in that time, and you can kind of see where he was at the time with all the little things that he was trying. And it's really interesting. It gets wee patches where he's messing around with different genres of music, messing around with different sounds. So with synthesizers, with kind of ambient sounds, there's like a few of them, and they're close together. Although there's a couple later on as well that are kind of environmental sounds with people talking and kind of and rain and wind, these types of things. And he plays around with that for a while, and then you get other ones where they get really dark all of a sudden. Maybe my favorite album on it so far, which is Ball for the Chief, Ball for the Chief, Ball for the Coach, which is just a fantastic and really like harsh song. The lyrics are savage, and it's quite a lot of fun. And that's, you know, and that's around another song which is, you know, really quite dark, which is about you know, well, yeah, it's dark. Let's just leave it at that. The next song after Ball for the Chief, um, and so it's interesting to, because it tells you something about the process. Sometimes you'll get something where it's the same basic melody, but he's changed the first day he's done it with one thing, and then the next time he's plays around with it in a different tempo or something like this. It's interesting to see that process of him making the things. It's also very encouraging because, you know, what you've got to do is you've got to make music, right? You just got to keep on making things. Some of it, and you kind of got to be doing it for the joy of making it. Now he's in a position obviously where he makes money from it, and I suppose there's a pressure now that he needs to kind of make money from it. But I think that it seems like from that, just because of how prolific he is, and you know, to hear the way that he makes music, as the sequencer there looks very nice, that there's like a joy to it. I'm sure that if he wasn't making money, he'd still be making music. So it was noise and then rand at the end. So let's do noise next. Here it is, noise, M. Right, okay, so the noise module next. Yeah, so it's interesting. I love listening to, I've enjoyed listening to One Wing G. Such a neat idea for an album. 199 songs, you know? And it's confident, right? Like, I've made 199 songs. I've not released them, but I'm going to release them in this big blob like this. You're thinking, like, obviously, you're not worried about not having ideas again if you're happy enough doing that, you know, releasing 199. Because you could, you know, it's kind of like a writer writing a collection of short stories. Sometimes you think, oh, this is a really neat idea. And you could imagine how a writer could spin one wee short story into, you know, a full-length novel. And I imagine that's probably more, good night. I imagine that's more profitable for them. So there's a pressure to do that, and especially if they're worried that they're not going to, you know, if they make a living off of it, they're not going to be able to, you know, make something, think of a good idea again. You want to keep these wee things and turn them into something that's valuable. So it's kind of like that, right? That he's got all these ideas for songs, these wee fragments, and you think he could go back and rework some of them and then turn it into an album, and that's what he releases, you know, over that period of time. But he's obviously confident enough that he's going to be able to make new material, that it's not a thing to release all those songs. Right, okay. Okay. Almost got it there. Can't tell if anybody's on the stream. If there's anybody on the stream, you know, please say hello. If I'm randomly chatting to myself, don't be concerned. I'm just talking nonsense. This is the nonsense that's usually in my head. I'm saying it out loud. You're not going to interrupt my train of thought. There's barely a train. Oh, you're not going to derail it. Right, okay, so almost there. 1, 2, oh my goodness. 3, 4. Now, okay, let's screw this in here. How do I know when there's somebody on the stream? Is there a box somewhere that tells me? Like I said, I'm not too worried. People can watch it later if they have missed the opportunity. Or maybe I'll just go into nothingness. Nobody will ever know about it. Right, so rand next. Now this seems interesting, this rand module. Level in clock rate, then random. What does that mean? Well, we'll be able to have a play with it and figure out in not too long, I suppose. Right. Oops, sorry, this one. Rand. There we go. Rand. I wonder if I could take some of this rambling stuff. Is anybody be interested in this and edit it down into a short video? Yeah, I was very impressed with the one made Gene, like I said. Okay. I quite fancy covering some of the songs from it. I like Ball for the Coach for sure. I Love Her, which is, no, I Like Her, the song's called, sorry. Which I love. This is my summer song. I've listened to it a fair amount already. When I was on holiday with my wife for our anniversary, so it was particularly pertinent. Because I do like her, because she's awesome. Anyway, let's go and put this over here. Just some of this nonsense. Okay, right, just these wee standoff things to go. And then the speaker. And then we're ready for the final part of the assembly. What we had just now, almost 2 hours. Very repetitive though. It's not like after you get the hang of doing this, this is taking probably an hour-ish, maybe slightly more by itself. But after you get the hang of it, nothing to it. Right. Okay. And almost all the standoffs. It's got those envelopes, so we'll definitely be able to make some cool percussive sounds with it. And I mean, there's 2 VCAs and there's only 1 filter. That might be slightly trigger. I was just trying to think, like, how many drum sounds could we have coming out of it? Well, maybe with the, yeah, I don't know how many with the zero. Right, this is the last one. Well, the last one before the speaker. Last one of this type, and then we are on to another page, which is 1, 2, 3. Oh, get in. Oh, what? It would be in the last one, eh? That's slightly more awkward for some reason. Right, there we go. 3 and 4. Wow, it looks lovely. I really like the look of it. Yellow and black. Now it's got more black on the front. It looks even better. We needed something to go a bit contrasty. I'm colorblind, so I like this simple, bright primary colors. White and black and grey. I mean, that's my preferred color palettes for most things. It's easily understandable for me. Right, so that is us. We have done this section now. Let's try the next page. What are we to do? Speaker module. Snap. Snap doesn't sound good, does it? Snap it. Ugh. And recycle the square part. But what is it? This is what was mentioning earlier. Like, what are these PCBs made of? What am I recycling? Don't know. I suppose I must be able to say. Right. Okay, let's have a look. Ooh, wow. This looks, you know, it looks like a decent wee speaker. Got this to stop vibrations. It's got, I don't know, kind of biggish looking chamber in it. I don't know anything about speakers, if I'm honest. As long as it can make some sound that I can hear. I wonder what it would be like in the low end. Right, okay, so it says, here we go, this is what it looks like. and it says speaker. Although look, it's the other way around, and it says snap. 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 Get off. Snap. Oh, it does snap off. That's good. Looks like you could use it for something. It's got those wee holes in it. Not sure what you want to use it for. Right, so we've snapped that off, and now the speaker wire goes into here. There we go. Eve clip. There we go. Right, so we've still got this one. Now what's it saying? Now we've done this. Oops. Right, there's the wee speakers. The wee sorry. Oh, so it doesn't tell you. So it must be the same principle as the other one. Well, I'll put the wee board in first. Yeah, I'll put the board in first, which are the standoffs are for, and then little rubbery bits get pulled through there. I think must be. And that's to sort of vibrationally isolate it. I've seen enough DIY. Is it DIY Perks, the guy's videos channel's called? I've seen enough of his videos to know that like vibrations are the devil when it comes to good sound quality. This guy, he's obsessed with getting good sound quality. I'm always very impressed with his videos. This is the cool thing about YouTube. It was giving people like him a platform. DIY Perks and Nighthawk and Light and people like that. It's a platform for showing their weird, interesting hobbies. Or people just talking about their point of view in the world and what they think, for good and for bad. I mean, I don't think there's ever usually anything bad about hearing somebody's point of view on the world, as long as it's not illegal, the things that they're saying. Then, it's nice to hear them just discuss what they think. The only problem is, of course, it's not really a conversation. People don't do that in everyday life. Tell you what they think politically, or tell you what they think religiously or spiritually, or you don't talk about that kinds of thing, so you don't really get to engage. And then, of course, if people disagree, then they because it's like a one-way thing, and it's online. You kind of people get angry, worked up about it. You can't talk. They can't clarify or explain their position. Right, let's move this up. This looks lovely. Don't know if you can see the detail on that there. That's just like a nice wee touch. Right, okay, let's try and put this on here first of all. Let me try and do it at the same time. Like put this in. Get it seated. Oh, is that wrong? Ah, no. Oh well, yes. Maybe it was upside down. Wait a second. Let's see. How we can't get this in here. Right. Well, where's the wee wire to go then? I suppose it can go through there like that, right? Might be the best way to do it. But then, where is it? Is this going to be very tight, or can I have it looping out there? Well, okay. Let's pull this all through. Right, there's one. Let's see, does it just pull? Yep, it does, yeah. Right. These wee things are quite fun to put in, actually. Where's it gone? This one. Everything else is in. Ah, there's it. Right, pull the wee. Can we just stick out like that, do they? I suppose you could trim them if you found them particularly disturbing. Alright, that wee wire is now in the wrong place. Right, we want to put it in here, in between, in the middle, I think. Right, bugger off. Right, you get in there. Right, okay, well, that's awkward. Let's see, we use this wee one to push out of the way, maybe. Ah, there we go. That's done the trick. Now put these in by hand. Right, and then we go one there, one there. One there. Cool. Okay. Right, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's the front panel. Let me just double check if I put in all the rest of them as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Right, that's the front panel. What do you think of that? Looks pretty cool. All the wee bits and pieces in. Big mess of wires in the back. That looks about right. Okay, so now that's that wee speaker wire. Hopefully that won't vibrate on anything. And then we've just got to plug it all in. So what does that mean? Start with the power distro and work downward. Start with power distro. What does that mean? Start with power distro and work downwards. Does that mean that I have to put in power? Oh, right. Okay, yeah, that's what it's meaning. So I've not to plug everything in yet. What do I say? Stack up. Okay, so I've not to plug anything in there. I've got to do. No, I have to, right? Where does that one go? Where does the actual power go into? Does it matter? Right, okay. Let's just let's just try with that. What can we see? Okay, I don't suppose it matters. Let's start. Where's the power distribution? It's going to come up there. I might put the power distribution up at the top there. How far is this going to go? Maybe I shouldn't. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So is there extra spaces? Okay, let's start. Let's start at this side. I'm sure it should be fine. Maybe one along from the end. No, let's just start up at the top. Right, 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's those ones. Then 5. 6 here. Wait a second, that's the wrong way around. 6. Right, how well can you see what I'm doing? 7. 8. 8 in there. 9. here, 10, here, and then, okay, then we'll start on this side. Maybe we should have, this one's quite tight over here actually. Or maybe it's just because of all those wires. I think it should be fine. Yeah, it's still not stretched too much or anything. And this one's fine. And this one is fine. And then the last one here. Okay, so there's space at the top. Now, I do have some cable ties. Should I cable tie it? Well, let's have a look and let's try and neaten it up a little bit anyway. Press down these wires. It's not too bad actually, maybe. Don't know if I'll bother with cable ties. It might just be more stuff to try and hold in. Right, okay, so that's that. They're all plugged in. Now, what's the next bit? The next bit is attach those on to this. Do not over tighten screws. Now, where does it say the power supply thing? Was I meant to do that already? No. It hasn't explicitly mentioned that anywhere. Roller knob layout. Ah, and it's got the patches. Wonton. Animal Chin entered the modular scene with this unit back in the 80s during a skate modular retreat. Rumor says that the module will never be for sale and just given away at special outdoor gatherings. That's interesting. There's an extra module. Cheeky. Wonder if they've given many of them away. Wonton. A modular skate retreat. That is an interesting mix. Right. So here is this part. Now, I need to attach the power pack on, I suppose. Hopefully you can see that there. It goes in this wee section here. And here's the box for it. It's quite small. It doesn't have one of those nice, like, pull things the way that the other one does. It's just like a flap. And so it's a battery, it looks like it is a battery case with another bit on, whoops, that takes an adapter. And I got the adapter for it because I don't want to go through. I'm not going to use it portably for, at least for now. I might do. I don't have enough rechargeable batteries really for it. Oh, geez. There we go. That's it there. Anybody that's interested? There we go. The cable there. And so, oh look, is this what's this for? Oh, is this to hold the batteries in? This elastic band goes around it like that, maybe? Hold the batteries in? Am I being daft? It doesn't seem like it would hold them very well. Maybe it would. Let's try it, actually. We can test that, because if we put it up here, it holds it tight. No, it doesn't. Now what the heck is this bit for then? Do not over tighten screws. Oh, I suppose you're going to want to be able to take it out. So maybe it gets elastic banded in. Right. And so this cable, okay, this cable here goes, this looks very small. Oh no, it's longer than it looks. So it goes through here and up into this, somewhere over here. and it goes in on this side. Can't see this, can you, very well? Goes in like this, I'd imagine. That's the power pack. And then, is it screwed in? No, it can't be, because you've got to get the batteries in, right? Do not over tighten screws, it says. Not totally getting how this is meant to actually fit in. Is it just like press fit? Or just right, let's try focus around so you can see. Maybe it'll make sense once I try. Oh yeah, that bit goes in quite tightly. So I think so. I suppose it's going to have to be press fitting in, right? You see, sorry, I need to be able to see. I'll try and put it back in a second. Don't know what that big elastic band is for though. Ah, actually, yeah, it does kind of clip in. It's not too bad. And so that's when the wee power switch there, yeah. Okay, so now that's coming up and it goes in there. And we put the plate on it, I suppose. Do I want it like that? Or do I want it lying this way? I imagine I could put it like this one. I'm sure that might be more comfortable. Easier to film, maybe, if I was wanting to take videos out. And you know, I can always unscrew and put it back. Would it be better to have it upright? I don't know. Oh, well, the wee feet are on the bottom. Okay, sorry, the feet are on the bottom, so I'm going to do it like this because I'd find it stressful otherwise, with the wee feet on the bottom like that. Right, okay. The wires are definitely, there's definitely a bit of a gap here. Okay, let's try and put in these top ones first. Put them in, then we can, don't do it too tight. We can get the other ones in later. Right, let's move this out of the way. Right, okay. Oops. Right, we'll do this one on this side, and then we can kind of press down. I should probably check all the power. I should probably test it before I screw this up. That's like you're making a computer. You know, that's what you want to do. But I should probably do it here, but I'm not going to because I'm quite keen to get it finished. I'm just going to assume everything's going to work, no problem. There we go. Next, let's re-screw in here. Wow, it actually feels, you know, you think it's all bent metal and stuff. Actually feels very robust. Yeah, it feels really robust. It does not feel like lightweight and flimsy at all, really. I don't know, maybe that's some, oh no, it does, you know, definitely, it feels hefty, it feels sturdy. There we go, that's this one going in. The wee screws seat quite nicely as well, even though they're kind of just screwing into paint and metal. Doesn't feel like there's much of a thread there, but they actually feel like they're seating quite nicely. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, this is a nice thing. I just, I'm quite pleased just to have this on my desk, if I'm honest. Now, I've got 2 wee freckin' speakers, and they take, they're not connected up with each other, so I can actually send the left and the right speaker out to the 2 different freckin' speakers. That's kind of cool. Okay, so that's all. Oh, it looks pretty nice. Not too bad. Quite neat if you look down here. Doesn't look too bad, right? Can't see anything coming at the top right. Last screw, let's do this. Oh, look, it says CH400 up here. What does CH stand for? CH. Oh, is it the chassis for the 400? Is that what it stands for? Right, and then let's get these in here. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very nice. So now you can't see it very well, but if I put it like this, you'll be able to see it. Now, let's see. So that looks pretty nice. Also, if I put it like over here. Right, let's have a look and double check, make sure that there's nothing else to do. No, I don't think so. Right, there's some information about each of the different bits and pieces. Patches. Now, I'll explore these. Let's patch. In modular synthesis, you can patch anything anywhere. Don't worry, nothing will break if you do it wrong. In fact, there is no rule. But not everything you patch will be musically useful. That's up to you to decide. Real-time hands-on experimentation is the greatest part about modulars. It will change your mind and your soul, will it? Well, I mean, you should have told me that up front. I'm not sure I want my mind and soul to be changed. In what way? Here are some examples of patches to get you started. Output to output connections are not recommended. So taking output and then putting it into another output. I wonder why. I wonder what that does. Right, let's give it a wee squeeze. How well can you see this here? Well, I mean, I tell you what I can do. I can move my camera now. That's we'll get out of the way. Don't know how YouTube. Oh, no. No, what's happened? Showing me now. That's not what I want. Dum. Integrated webcam, this one. Okay. There we go, it's back. Now, right. So, just gotta be careful not to exit out of that by accident next time. Right, so it's going to be hard to get this to focus on that. Let's see, can I do it? There, that's kind of worked. You can see it, bit of an odd angle. Well, I could definitely tip it up or something more. Or move this around. There's my neutron there. Looks quite nice beside it. Right. Okay, let's try and push this back a bit, try and give it more space. Let me see. Do I have another way to... Oh yeah, wait a second. Don't I have a wee... Thought I had another... Let's move that out of the way in case I offend somebody. Okay, I need to think about this more for next time, but let's just try and get something set up so I can try and get some sound out of it just now. Okay. Or maybe upright again, and then I'll try and prop it up a bit. That'll work, right? You know what? Let's just do it like this for now. You can kind of see. There we go. Right, let's patch. Okay, I'll keep my Teenage Engineering elastic band there. Be collectible in years to come. Now, we need to actually make sure it's working. So where is my power supply? Right, here we go. Power supply, power supply. Important. Socket outlet is not suitable for the plug supplied with this. Don't know what that means. Right, let's get this all plugged in. Give that a go. God damn it, where's this bloody cough come from? There we go. Right. Get into here. And then into here. And then move the wire flanger. And I think it's around this side, isn't it? Let's plug it in. Pop. Okay. And let's turn it on. Oh, there we go. It's on. This wee light came on. Right, now let's make the first patch it suggests just to make sure it's all working. Now, I tell you what I'm going to do. Oh no, wait a second here. I'm not finished yet. I've got to put all the little, the little knobs on. Right, so let's go back to that page which told you something about the knobs. Okay. Sorry. So, it is grey ones and yellow ones. It doesn't really tell you. Where are they to go? Grey ones, yellow ones. Knob color layout. Ah, here we go. It tells you the knob color layout here. Right, so here are all the knobs. Let's get them all in according to the canonical Teenage Engineering layout. I have to say I'm not brave enough to try. See if there's another way you can do it. Is there only one way that these would go in? No, there's not. I don't think there is. Right, that's good. That feels like that's the right place for it. These feel a bit wobbly. Right, I tell you what, let's turn it off in case I do something weird to it. Right, they feel a bit wobbly. These ones. Right. Let me just double check. I mean, totally usable, but they definitely wiggle quite a lot. I suppose you can put something bigger in them if you want to later on. The tuning knob, this wee tiny one, I suppose it's smaller because you don't want to accidentally get it, I suppose. Oh, does it have a wee bit to sort of, oh geez, let's see. Oh my goodness, that was very difficult to get out. Let's see, is that what that's meant to be here? Right. Pretty difficult to get this in. You just don't want to press it too hard. You're not sure where it is. So the tuning knob, I suppose there, you're not going to want to be manipulating that too much. Let's turn it around. Let me just make sure this is roughly in the right direction at least. Oh, that's good. Okay. Feels good. Feels good. Right, let's put it in the middle. Don't know what that is. How long's it taken so far? These are interesting. What are these ones? Oh, they're other wee ones. Right, well, they're not these ones. What were you on? What were you on just now? Sorry, we're coughing. Deafened people that are listening. There's this one here, one there. This FM is interesting. I imagine it's analog FM, right? So not like digital FM, like you know, the Digitone or the DX, what's it called, the DX7, very famous Yamaha synth. Right, there we go. Right, and then this one. Too many more to go. Definitely see this. Right, let's go twisty, and it goes in here. Right, and then it is these ones, the mixer ones, are all these little peg ones. Let's just make sure that's. Did you put these on before? Would that have been better to do? What was it suggesting? I can't remember to even suggest it to tell us to do that before. No, it says once they're in to put them on. Okay, well that's fine by me. Doesn't bother me. As long as it's not going to break them or something. Oh, don't want to lose one of them. Right, there's one there. Like, can I, you know, can I put a like a pocket operator going into this mixer? Does this type of mixer work like that? Or is it not made for these types of signals? So anybody's watching this and happens to somehow manage to hear this little section of it, please let me know if you think that it could be used to mix just normal audio signals into quite interested to trying to link it up to the neutron. I think that could be quite fun. Because it's got some nice things on the neutron that could be useful for this, because I noticed it doesn't have an attenuator. I don't think it has an attenuator, right? You can't just like use a bit of the signal. Which is, I mean, I use this all the time on the neutron. Use the attenuators to just limit the range of a particular signal. So, I mean, I can use it, and no reason I can't use it on this. With this, feeding it in and out. As long as the voltage is similar. I never even thought about that, to be honest. There we go. Rand. Oh no, rate, sorry. Put it about halfway. Level, resonance, level. That's interesting. 2 level controls. 1 input though. What does that? Why is there 2 there? Right, well, I'm sure we'll find out. Hopefully the patches will explain it. If they don't, we'll just need to. I wonder if it's one of these things, modular synthesis, where, because I listen to like a lot of modular stuff at the moment, and I'm like, the hell is going on with this? And I wonder if you get more into the weird avant-garde sound of it when you know how it's made. Like again, is it one of these things that's like the process is interesting? Like I feel like that about jazz quite a lot. I don't really, a lot of the time I don't really understand. Like jazz can feel very often like it's for the musicians. It's not for the audience. Not that there's anything wrong with that. For goodness sake, stop dropping these. Yeah, it can feel like it's for the. No, that's not right. Well, come on, out you come. What's the most mainstream use of modular synthesis? Is it something like a Aphex Twin? I mean, I know for sure he uses it, right? So I suppose can't think of other people. I've seen what's his face from the from Radiohead. What's his name? The lead singer from Radiohead. Anyway, I've seen him use like various different bits of modular gear. Right. Okay. Let's see. Okay, like almost there. Not too far off now. So we've got gain and level. So the level has to be one of these ones, apparently. I don't suppose it has to be, but it's the way that they recommend it. There we go, and the gain is another yellow one. So we've got 2 like that. Right, it's in there. Okay, so now another wee level one with the tab. Come here. And then lots here. That's going to take a while to put in. It's definitely going to take maybe about 3 hours all in all before I'm actually making a patch. I quite like it though, to be honest. It's been fun. Like a jigsaw puzzle. Well, maybe, no, like a Lego kit, really. That's what it feels like. The instructions are kind of look like a Lego kit. The colours are quite like a Lego kit. Lego Technic. It's going for that aesthetic, isn't it? ADSR. Nice and compact for having a wee envelope on them. If you can even see what I'm doing. Right, there we go. And so now I've got tempo, which is what? Just a peg one as well. Okay. Right. Tempo, tempo, tempo. And then these ones. Zoop. Two. Come on. Round, round, round. Three. So sorry, honestly. Should mute my microphone when I'm doing it, but I don't know how to do that, if I'm honest. Need to set it up. So this out, I imagine, is that a stereo out? Yeah, these are left and right channels going into the speaker. That's the volume. So is this just normal audio out? Can I plug headphones into it? I don't know. Let's see. Oh man, it's a lovely looking thing. I mean, just to sit on the desk, it would be. I wouldn't. £350 a bit steep just to sit on a desk, but you know, I mean, it's nice. It's not going to just sit on the desk, though, of course. I'm going to actually be using it. Yeah, I'm actually quite looking forward to it. I didn't think I would be, but I'm quite looking forward to trying it with the Neutron. Because, you know, I think there's a lot of things will be interesting. There's no sequencer on the Neutron, for example. I imagine it's standard voltage. Double check that before I do it in case I break it. But there's no sequencer, so it'd be quite cool to sequence it like that. It's interesting, it's got the stereo cables for patching. Why is that? Is that just kind of to make it flexible that you can use use those cables for lots of different stuff? And it doesn't really matter? It's not going to be balanced in some way, is it? Is it? I don't even know if that's a thing. Right, so let's see, where's the last one? Okay, level and rate. So level is yellow, rate is grey. When I was younger, the equivalent of IKEA was MFI in the UK. I don't know if it's anywhere else, to be honest. And up and down. Cool. Next one. Let's put it. Well, let's put it there just now. Right, all the knobs on. Right, well that is that. That is the Pocket Operator Modular 400. Finished. And let me just double check. There's no screws missing anywhere, is there? I don't think so. Right, that's just actually this one needs a bit tightened up a little bit. Right, and this one is right. Okay, so that's that. All finished. Nice looking thing. Very impressed with it. It's actually a lot of fun to make. So I'm quite happy with that. Okay, so thank you to anybody who came onto this stream, and you know, and drop by, and thank you to anybody who's going to watch the archive of it. Hopefully it's useful to someone. If you get stuck, I mean, just ping me a comment, give you a thumbs up, ping me a comment if you have any questions, and I'll answer them if I can. And thanks for watching, and see you later.